another episode of Hey Mama, where we talk all things motherhood and female empowerment. We are still on me.
Yeah, and in this episode, we're going to talk about the comeback from chronic fatigue. And like I said at the end of our last episode together, what this woman did here was a pretty remarkable thing. She built her best body, the best one that she's ever had. Mm-hmm. Even better than one before babies, after chronic fatigue. And we want to tell you how she did that. So, let's talk about what it took for you to overcome chronic fatigue. Where we left off was where you were at rock bottom.
Yeah, so I was very sick and got told if you don't change what you're currently doing, you're going to get very, very sick. And it was a massive snapping point for me because if I fall apart, my whole family falls apart. Like, you cannot run without me. So what was the use in doing what I was currently doing to turn out like this? So then I can't be anything for anybody, not just myself. So I had to take that good hard look in the mirror. And
completely wipe the slate clean.
Wipe the slate, yes,
zero.
That's right. Yeah. So I had to build myself up from the ground.
Yeah.
So I started very basic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first thing you needed to do was sort out your sleep.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Pete had to drag a mattress out into the lounge room and say, okay, you're in there, we're out here.
Yeah.
And you need to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is that I forgot actually how to sleep.
Yeah. So you had to learn how to sleep.
Yeah, I had to learn how to sleep again.
Yeah.
So, starting from very basic laying foundations.
And what was
the priority?
Yeah, well, that's right. Priority, right?
Yeah.
Because you had no energy, you were chronic fatigued. We had to look at the one thing
that was missing,
or the biggest domino.
Yeah.
And knock that over, and it was your sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And for a lot of mums, it's their sleep. And most of the time, you can feel as though it's not within your control to improve that. So, was it a clear path towards just fixing your sleep?
No, definitely not. So, I would feel a bit better because I'd started to sleep again. So then I would think, I'm cured. That's it. Right. Sign me up. Sign me up to the next thing. Yeah. I have slept for one night. I'll go back to training. No, it's not one night. It was a little bit. That's an exaggeration.
Well, no, but I remember the weekly cycle. When the weekly cycle was Monday, you got up, you had energy. Wednesday, you crashed. And then all weekend was just nothing.
Yeah, definitely.
You'd recover, and then Monday...
Yeah, I'd have to take 2 weeks off. And then I'd start to feel better again. So it was a backwards and forwards. It was 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Yeah.
That kind of infuriating and frustrating thing for me because I am
How long did that last? Do you think that period of where you were going 1 step forward, 2 steps back?
12 months.
Yeah.
12 frustrating months.
Yeah.
And we also got sentenced from and I don't mean like sentence in a bad way, but we did talk to experts and say this and Pete reached out because he was like, I'm at my wit's end, like my heart's breaking here. We did get told that it would be 2 years. 2 years because I am a mother. That I would start to get better. And so I had to learn what I could push and what I couldn't push, what was the priority.
And through that process, you eventually got to a point where you did start taking, 2 steps forward and 1 step back rather than 1 step forward, 2 steps back. So you started to actually gain some momentum. So what happened there?
Is this where I seeked help or before?
Well, when did you start taking more steps forward than 1 step back? When I started documenting? Yeah. That was the time.
Yeah. So, we didn't include this before, but I had to get an iron infusion and go to the doctor and make sure that was all level. I had to get a checkup and all that kind of thing. So, once that was happening, I then also started to think, well, I need support, not just us. We need support. Yeah. Because we didn't have anyone around us.
Yeah, because to that point, I've been looking at your protein requirements, looking at your iron requirements, and we were hitting them.
Yes, we were hitting them.
Nothing was fixing.
But because I wasn't, because I wasn't recovering.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually that beautiful nutrition
Yeah.
that was going into my body
Yeah.
that we were working so hard on wasn't actually being received in the body, because my body was just like, oh, it's not functioning properly
Yeah.
when you're not sleeping.
So for those out there listening, if you are trying to diet right now or exercise or anything and you haven't actually addressed the sleep, none of that's going to actually help.
So that's the one domino.
That's the one domino,
Yeah.
sleep quality. It can be a frustrating thing to focus on and improve because it is,
and be in a
one step
hurry
forward,
to
2 steps back.
be in a hurry to get to the next step.
Yeah.
So then I did get offered to have to get a coach of my own.
Yep.
And this was hard for Pete. We talk about, males and egos and wanting to fix things, and this is where he had to actually let go of this side and go, okay, well, let's get a coach in so then you can bounce back and forth. And this is someone who isn't emotionally invested, right? That's the important thing as well, because they can look on the outside without having this emotional investment that can cloud you.
Yeah.
So I think it was fantastic for accountability.
Totally.
And then also having someone to, if I started getting like, she would just bang, snap me out of it and show me, just like you did with the mirror, right? So I started documenting sleep, energy, what was going, hunger, stress, what was going in, what was going
What were you
out.
doing? What was going out?
I
I mean, you weren't recording it.
I don't mean like I didn't want to say what was going
Out,
out.
exercise. You were in constant conversation with this person about your training.
Yes.
How intense it was.
Yes,
when
what
you,
I did,
when you were crashing.
Yeah.
I remember you figuring it out with this coach on how to actually learn your limit, or how was it worded
Yeah. Always leave enough in the tank.
at the end of your session.
Yeah. So that's what I had to learn off her. Look outside, looking in, because I'd be like, oh man, I've crashed and burned now. I'm back in, I'm out for 2 weeks. Blah blah blah, and then she's like, okay, you have to learn how to leave enough in the tank, because as my personality is, I was like, right, feeling better, let's go. And then I would crash and burn. So it's just that that hovering of the balance and learning that balance. And if you have someone bouncing off, they can really help you to keep moving forward.
So you were documenting.
Yeah.
So you were documenting heavily, like you were writing down what you were eating. How you were exercising, how you were feeling, and the biofeedback after that.
Biofeedback.
You had the coach. The biofeedback is energy levels, hunger levels, stress levels, sleep quality. We didn't have watches back then either, like the Fitbits that are around today. So that's a part of the process. But wrapped up in a container, you had this documenting process. You had this person you can bounce off of. Was that how you built awareness in your body, and that knowing of what was good for you, what was not good for you?
Yeah, so I did have to start listening to my body and what it was telling me. So that was the big lesson before on the last episode, of that I wasn't actually listening. I wasn't listening to anything my body was trying to tell me, even exterior people trying to tell me. And it so now that was a massive lesson where I was like, okay, I've got to create this awareness, and I've got to actually listen to it.
How long did that take? So you said before 12 months, 12 months for 1 step forward, 2 steps back. This next phase of 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but gaining momentum and awareness
that would have
in
been
your body.
another 12 months.
Was it another 12 months?
I'd say so, yeah.
You worked with this coach
I
for 2
worked
years.
with Trish for 2 years, and so I would say, it was a good 2 years. And that...
But at the 1 year mark, you really started to just take forward steps, no steps backwards.
Yeah, definitely. That next year was there was a little setback after that first 12 months that I worked with her, a little setback, but because I had worked on it, I knew how to fix it. And I'm still like that to this day. And the same as that following 12 months, there was multiple lessons in there, but they were very quick
Yeah.
to for me to learn. Like
Yeah.
as soon as I would feel something, and I actually still feel it now too. I can tell the signs of when iron levels have dropped in me or what I've done previously. Like I've got so much body awareness that, or even what I eat or what I do, that I go, oh, I know what happened there.
Yeah, so when you fall sick, you know that it's
Yeah.
the result of what happened 3 or 4 days ago,
Yeah.
or a week ago.
But that gap, I suppose to wrap it up, is that gap is is larger and larger. So in that 12 months, that gap was so large between me getting sick,
Yeah.
because I was heavily focused on it.
Yeah.
And then after those 2 years, the gap is getting bigger from if I do get sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I guess to wrap this up, then, when people try to fix themselves and seek external advice and just want to be told what to do, what would you say to a mum just wanting to be told what to do, like just having something written down or having some kind of course tell them what to do? What's the most important factor to overcoming any kind of chronic fatigue, whether it's diagnosed or not? Building a body that is better than the one that you had before having babies. What's the most important thing?
Well, that listening to your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a building awareness and listening to
Yeah.
your body.
So building that awareness and taking a look from the inside, or yourself, and listening to your body. But when you're having that exterior help,
Yeah.
they're there to guide you.
Yeah.
They're there to guide you in the right direction. Every experience is different.
Yeah.
So not every mum that I work with is going to have the exact same experience as me, but having that bounce off to guide you in the right direction.
Yeah.
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 I hope that's
Got
the point across.
That's exactly what that's the exact point of this whole episode, is that you cannot expect miracles to be performed. If you've gotten yourself into this position where you are fatigued, whether it's chronically diagnosed or whatever, or you know, even if you're just wanting to lose weight, hey, say you were just listening to this and you want to be a fit mum and you want to have a body transformation, there's been a certain set of habits and rituals and routines that you've carried out throughout your life. You've lent on emotions, you've used things to help you regulate yourself, and it's a mess right now, and you need to unravel that. It's a longer process. It's a process that requires more effort and concentration, but the rewards are significantly higher. The result is more permanent. So just if there's anything that you can take away from this episode, your Healthy Mama apps, your crash diets over 6 weeks, your macro counting, it's not going to count for much unless you have something that you can keep and continue for the rest of your life.
Boom.
Boom.
Stay tuned
Mic drop.
for the
last
final
episode,
about me.
It'll be on the second pregnancy paradox. This is a good one. This is talking about how in modern society there is no tribe for mamas.
And going from 1 to 2.
And going from 1 to 2. All right. See you, mamas.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Hey Mama. You can find all the relevant links, including socials, in the description section of this podcast. If you want to find out more information about how I can help you build your best body after babies, then visit my website, www.thefitmummethod.com, for more info. Lastly, before you leave here today, if you've enjoyed listening, then please subscribe and share so you can help me to reach out to those mamas that also need to listen too.